Hey guys, it's Melanie, and today I have my April book haul for you, so stay tuned. So today is my April book haul. These are all the books that I have purchased since I did my March book haul, and that wasn't from Book Outlet because I do those as a separate video, as you probably already know. But these are from places like Amazon, Thrift Books, Books A Million, subscription boxes, just anywhere that I've gotten books from other than Book Outlet. So let's get started. I have 15 books here today. So the first 3 books that I have to show you, I got from Thrift Books, and it is a trilogy. It is the Modern Fairytales trilogy by Holly Black. We have Tithe, Valiant, and Ironside. And you know, I didn't even realize that this was like Holly Black's first thing. That's pretty cool. It says, 16-year-old Kay is a modern nomad. Fierce and independent, she travels from city to city with her mother's rock band until an ominous attack forces the 16-year-old back to her childhood home. There, amid the industrial blue-collar New Jersey backdrop, Kay soon finds herself an unwilling pawn in an ancient power struggle between the two rival fairy kingdoms, a struggle that could very well mean her death. Newcomer Holly Black's enormously powerful voice weaves teen angst, riveting romance, and capriciously diabolical fairy folk into an enthralling, engaging, altogether original reading experience. It had me at the whole modern fairy tales thing because I love all of that kind of fairy tale retellings and all of that stuff. So I figured I'd really enjoy this, and I actually got her book Cruel Prince in a subscription box, and I know that her and Cassandra Clare do a lot of writing together, so I figured I would probably really enjoy her books as well. Okay, so the next book I got from Books A Million, and I actually had taken back Love and Gelato that I purchased from there before because the cover was messed up and stuff, and so I actually was able to get it from Book Outlet cheaper, and so I did that, and I traded it in for Story Thieves, The Stolen Chapters by James Riley, and this is for Xander. And this is actually the second book in this series, but I figure I'd get the first book later when he wants to read them, but it sounds like something Xander and I would probably enjoy. So it's about this boy named Owen Connors, whose classmate Bethany is half fictional, and she's able to go in and out of stories, in and out of books, and she takes Owen along with her on these adventures through these stories. And I guess this one's about chapters of the book being stolen, and it's like a Sherlock Holmes book that they go into or something like that, and it just sounded super cute and like a series that Xander would really enjoy, and a series that I would probably enjoy reading with him. Okay, so the next 3 books that I have here are actually books that I won from different giveaways. So the first book here is Wrecked by Maria Payton. Okay, so this book is about a girl named Jenny who goes to this party, and when she comes back, her friend Jordan sees her and she's like shell-shocked, or Jenny's like shell-shocked. And then Richard hears his friend Jordan talking about this cute girl that he hooked up with at the party, but then Jenny accuses Jordan of raping her at the party, and so it's kind of a people taking sides and coming to terms with what the truth is, what actually happened. And Haley and Richard had just started dating, but Richard's like on Jordan's side and Haley's on Jenny's side, and it's messing up their new relationship, and it's kind of a big mess. And it says reputations, relationships, and whole lives depend on whether the truth will ever come to light. And it sounds like a really emotional kind of book. And I actually won this off of a Instagram giveaway by Simply Kalina, and I was so excited about that. And she also sent me a really sweet card, and she said she likes my channel. So, hi! Alright, so next is a book that I won from a Goodreads giveaway. And this is an arc of Lying in Wait by Liz Nugget. And oh, this cover is really cool. It's like all the branches and stuff are raised, and it's very textured. It's really cool. So this says, my husband did not mean to kill Annie Doyle, but the lying tramp deserved it. On the surface, Lydia Fitzsimmons' life seems ideal. Her husband, Andrew, is a prosperous, respected judge. They live in the spacious, comfortable, well-appointed house where she was raised. And she is utterly, obsessively devoted to her son, Lawrence, her adored only child, her pride and joy. But Andrew's murder of Annie Doyle, accidental or not, sets into motion a dark downward spiral. No one knows what he and Lydia were doing with a drug-addled prostitute late at night on a deserted stretch of the Strand near Dublin, and no one sees them stuff her body into the trunk of their car and bury it in their tidy suburban garden, hoping that they will put the matter to rest. Annie was a junkie from the wrong side of the tracks. Surely no one will miss her or care to discover what happened to her. Except that Annie has a sister, Karen, who has fared much better in life and is desperate to find her. And when Karen crosses paths with Lawrence, isolated and lonely, things begin to unravel fast. Lawrence may be overweight and ungainly and mercilessly bullied at school, but he's more clever than he's given credit for. He knows that something is very, very wrong in the Fitzsimmons' household, and he is determined to discover the truth. And it says, look for Liz Nugget's stunning debut, Unraveling Oliver. And this book will go on sale on June 12th, 2018. Okay, so next was another Goodreads giveaway that I won, and that is The Death of Miss Westaway by Ruth Ware, and this is an arc. And this book comes out on May 29th of 2018, and it says, on a day that begins like any other, Hal receives a mysterious letter bequeathing her a substantial inheritance. She realizes very quickly that the letter was sent to the wrong person, but also that the cold reading skills she's honed as a tarot card reader might help her claim the money. Soon, Hal finds herself at the funeral of the deceased, where it dawns on her that there is something very, very wrong about this strange situation and the inheritance at the center of it. Full of spellbinding menace and told in Ruth Ware's signature suspenseful style, this is an unput-downable thriller from the Agatha Christie of our time. And so I'm super excited to have this. Okay, the next 4 books I have here came from subscription boxes. So I was a bit behind on my Guilty Pleasures / Totally Booked Crate subscription box. So I actually had my January My Guilty Pleasures, and then February I switched from My Guilty Pleasures to their other side, which is the YA, and it's Totally Booked Crate. So I have the February of that, and then I also have the March of that as well. So in the January My Guilty Pleasures book crate, I got Hidden Seams by Alessandra Torre. And this is a erotic contemporary. And it says, 10 years of lies, $1 billion empire. She could destroy all of it. $1 billion fashion empire about to be mine. I've worked a decade for this. I've sold my soul and my reputation. I've lived a lie, smiled for the cameras, and hated myself, all for this inheritance. And then she pops up, a mysterious air with a rap sheet, combat boots, and a mouth that I want to pin shut with my... It doesn't matter. I've played this game for a decade. I can continue the charade a little longer, keep my hands to myself and her body out of my mind. I can keep my secret until the ink dries and everything is mine. At least, I think I can. And then in the February Totally Booked Crate box, I got Reign the Earth by A.C. Goffin. And oh my gosh, if you did not see my unboxing of this, you should totally go and check that out. The letter from this author, it just, oh my gosh, the letter had me crying. So I'll have like the little info card or whatever show up somewhere up here for this unboxing, but yeah. I was just like, oh my gosh, if this letter is doing this, I can only imagine what this book's gonna do to me. It says, she is a daughter of the desert and she has magic in her blood. Shayla's people are desperate to end the devastating war that's been raging for years with the adjoining kingdom. Willing to trade her freedom for the safety of her family, Shayla agrees to an arranged marriage with the king of the Bone Lands, even though it means leaving behind everything she's ever known. In her strange new country, magic is outlawed, and the Elemente, those who can control earth, air, fire, and water, are traitors, subject to torture or worse. Before she's even crowned, Shayla discovers that she can bend the earth to her will. Trapped between her husband's irrational hatred of the Elemente and a dangerous rebellion led by her own brother, Shayla must harness her power and make an impossible choice. Save her family, save the Elemente, or save herself. And then we have my March Totally Booked crate, and that was Pacifica by Kristen Simmons. And this says, blue skies, green grass, clear ocean water, an island paradise like the ones that existed before the melt. A lucky 500 lottery winners will be the first to go, the first to leave their polluted, debilitated homes behind and start a new life. It sounds perfect, like a dream. The only problem? Marion Carey spent her childhood on those seas and knows there's no island paradise out there. She's Corsario royalty, a pirate like her father and his father before him. And she knows a con when she sees one. So where are the first 500 really going? And there's a great blurb here. It says, a bleak, futuristic world that's utterly believable and terrifying. And yet, from out of it springs the greatest of hope, carried on the back of its fierce main characters. I was swept away. And that was Mindy Arnett, author of Avalon. And this sounded like a very different kind of book than what I would normally get in my boxes. So I'm really interested to read this. And then the last of the subscription box books, we have Heart of Iron by Ashley Poston. And oh, these end pages. This was in the March Owl Crate box, and I just love these stained pages. This is one of the things that's special for the Owl Crate book. I guess the original doesn't have the stained pages, so this is an extra special book. Also, Owl Crate has signed books, which is awesome. And this is a modern retelling of Princess Anastasia, and it's set in space. Okay, so the next 4 books are books that I ordered from Amazon, and the first one is Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan Mcguire. And I have just been dying to get this book. I was waiting for it to come up on Book Outlet, and I think it did for like a second, and then it was gone. So I wasn't able to get that there. So I finally ordered it off of Amazon, and this is one of those books that I've heard about forever, it seems like, on BookTube, and I just really, really wanted it. It's right up my alley. It's, you know, along the lines of fairy tales and all of that. And with this, it's these kids that go off to these fairy tale lands or whatever. When they come back to the real world through their doorway or whatever, back to the real world, they can't seem to adjust back to reality after being in such a fantastical place. And this is kind of about them trying to come to terms with being back in the real world, I believe. And I'm just super excited to read this. It's kind of like the what happens after. I like that. And then the last 3 books are all Buffy related, because I am a huge, huge, huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I love Buffy. I watched every episode of Buffy when it aired. I own all of the episodes of Buffy. I've had my daughter watch them all. We've watched them together repeatedly. And oh my gosh, when it was announced, I remember where I was, what I was doing, the moment I heard the announcement that Buffy was not going to be continuing. And I wanted to cry. I was so sad. But I love this. I love that show so much. And you may have seen the haul when I got these. And I got all my cute little pop figures up there. And I did like Instagram pictures with them and stuff. But anyway, the first book is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, 20 Years of Slaying, and this is the Watcher's Guide. And it says, as long as there have been vampires, there has been the Slayer. One girl in all the world to find them where they gather and to stop the spread of their evil and the swell of their numbers. From the first vampire staking to the last glimpse of Sunnydale, Buffy the Vampire Slayer was a genre-busting hit, attracting millions of lifelong fans worldwide. Even now, 2 decades later, it still captures the hearts and minds of those just discovering the show. To celebrate the show's 20th anniversary, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer Watcher's Guides have been compiled into one hardcover collector's edition for the first time, edited by Christopher Golden. You'll find the breakdowns of the best episodes from all 7 seasons, as well as additional insider content and insight into the lasting impact of Buffy. And it features 21 exclusive new interviews with the cast and crew, including creator Josh Wheaton. And next we have the official Grimoire of Willow Rosenberg, and yes, it says written by Willow Rosenberg. It's great. And it's kind of like her journal and her spell books and just everything that she's done, as well as like notes from other characters added in there and drawings, and it's great, and I can't wait to go into all this. It's like chakras, and yeah, it looks really cool. I know I saw like the tabula rasa in there, which is like the spell, yep, right here, the tabula rasa. And it's the spell that Willow used on Tara to make her forget. And ended up making everybody forget. And it was super, super cute. Really looking forward to reading that. But then again, I'm looking forward to reading all of these, so. And then last but not least, we have Buffy the Vampire Slayer Encyclopedia, the Ultimate Guide to the Buffyverse by Nancy Holder and Lisa A. Clancy. And this book has really cool end pages as well. It looks like there's blood splattered. It's kind of all over. It's awesome. And then you open up and you can see like the end pages are like that. And yeah, it's really cool. And it's kind of like that throughout the book too. And this one says, into every generation a Slayer is born. That Slayer is Buffy Summers, a high school cheerleader turned misfit into the groundbreaking television series Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This unlikely heroine, along with her friends and reluctant allies, battle the forces of darkness while dealing with the challenges of adolescence over 7 seasons on television. They saved the world a lot and developed a global fandom that absorbed, discussed, and debated every facet of the series. The Buffyverse has expanded beyond the original television series to include the spinoff Angel, which I also watched, and the comic books that ventured into seasons 8, 9, 10, and beyond. An entire universe worth of characters, locations, heroes, and demons have been introduced, bringing new dimensions to the core canon. This comprehensive reference volume lovingly captures every detail of the Buffyverse in print for the first time. If you already know Whistler from Willie the Snitch, but want to unlock the mysteries of the deeper well and the powers that be, Buffy the Vampire Slayer Encyclopedia is the book for you. And yeah, it's just really cool. Oh look, there's Oz. Got like all the different characters and stuff in here. I love it. There's Faith. This was such a fun series, and I do miss it. These books are balancing precariously there. Okay, well, have you read any of these books? Would you like to read any of these books? Comment down below and let me know. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, bye!